It happens quietly. No alarms, no warning signs, no visible wounds, no broken bones, no blood. Nothing that would convince the outside world that something is wrong. And yet, deep inside, something hurts. Not emotionally, not exactly, physically. A heaviness in the chest, a tightness in the throat. A strange ache that seems impossible to describe. A pain that cannot be touched, scanned, or photographed, but a pain that feels undeniably real. Many people know this feeling. The feeling of sitting in a crowded room and still feeling alone. The feeling of scrolling through endless conversations yet having nobody to talk to. The feeling of wanting connection while feeling disconnected from everyone around you. Loneliness is often described as an emotion, but psychology and neuroscience reveal something far more surprising. Loneliness doesn't merely feel painful. The brain often processes loneliness in ways that closely resemble physical pain. In other words, when people say loneliness hurts, they aren't speaking metaphorically. Part of the brain responds as though something is genuinely wrong. Because from the perspective of human evolution, something is. For most of human history, survival depended on belonging. Thousands of years ago, a human being alone was vulnerable. Separated from the group, survival became significantly more difficult. Food became harder to find. Protection became less reliable. Danger became more immediate. Isolation increased risk. Connection increased survival. Over countless generations, the human nervous system adapted to this reality. The brain learned an important lesson. Being connected is safe. Being isolated is dangerous. And because survival depended on social bonds, evolution developed a remarkable solution. It made dire disconnection hurt. Pain exists for a reason. Physical pain warns you when your body is threatened. Touch a hot surface. Pain tells you to pull away. Break a bone. Pain tells you something needs attention. Without pain, survival would become much more difficult. Loneliness appears to function in a surprisingly similar way. Instead of protecting the body, it protects social connection. The discomfort encourages people to seek others, to reconnect, to return to the group. From an evolutionary perspective, loneliness acts like a social alarm system, and like all alarm systems, it becomes difficult to ignore. This discovery transformed how psychologists understand loneliness. For a long time, loneliness was viewed primarily as a feeling, a subjective experience, an emotional state. Today, researchers increasingly view it as a biological signal, a signal that something essential may be missing. The fascinating part is that loneliness is not determined by how many people surround you. A person can be completely alone and feel peaceful. Another can be surrounded by friends, co-workers, family members, and strangers while feeling profoundly lonely. Because loneliness is not the absence of people. It is the absence of meaningful connection. This distinction changes everything. The human brain doesn't simply want social contact. It wants emotional belonging. 100 shallow interactions may fail to provide what one genuine conversation can create. This explains why loneliness can exist even in highly connected societies. Technology has made communication easier than ever before. Messages arrive instantly. Photos are shared globally. Conversations happen across continents. Yet many people report feeling lonelier than ever, because information and connection are not the same thing. Communication and intimacy are not the same thing. Being seen is not the same thing as being understood. The human mind craves something deeper, not merely interaction, connection, a place where thoughts, emotions, fears, and experiences can be shared without hiding. When that need remains unmet, loneliness begins to grow, and the brain notices. One of the most remarkable discoveries in neuroscience involves how the brain responds to social rejection. When researchers examine brain activity, they find something extraordinary. Certain regions activated during physical pain also become active during experiences of social exclusion and rejection. The overlap isn't perfect, but it is significant. The brain appears to treat social pain as something worthy of serious attention. From a survival perspective, this makes sense. If social connection once determined survival, then losing connection represented a genuine threat. The brain evolved accordingly. This may explain why rejection can feel devastating. A breakup, a betrayal, being ignored, being excluded, being abandoned. These experiences often produce sensations that seem physical. People describe heartbreak as pressure in the chest, a sinking feeling in the stomach, weakness, fatigue,